everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of the Comic Shop Adventures, my weekly excursion where I leave the homestead here at Athletic Geek HQ in search of my bounty of comics, graphic novels, action figures, collectibles, and all things in between. First thing is first, time to talk about what stood out from last week's bounty. Daredevil was really good. You know, I kind of mentioned how it can be a little consistent and can kind of get on some levels that, I don't necessarily like seeing in my comic books, but this was very, very good. This direction they're going in with this giant everyone for themselves war in Hell's Kitchen where nobody it's just a good book. It's part 1 of 2, so we'll probably get that wrapped up soon. It might just be another layer and another more overarching story, but Daredevil's very good. Strange Adventures was also very good. Just really enjoyed that. I know that's a 12-issue series, so as of now, I'm on board with that for the remainder of the series. Batman was very good. It's with the secret that Selina had and what it means for Bruce. It's a really big deal. No real bad books. The Flash was fun. It's a good love letter to a great character, but Every book was very good. I couldn't get into Strange Academy too much, so I will not be adding that one to my pull list. No offense if anybody liked it. It wasn't a bad book. I read it a couple times and couldn't get into it, so I kind of thought, maybe this one's just not for me. But it still wasn't a terrible book. It's just not for me. But yeah, those were my top picks, and I will see you when I get back here to the homestead with this week's bounty. Hey everyone, I am back here at the homestead, right here at Athletic Geek HQ. Got an interesting bounty this week, so let's just jump right in it. First book we have is Avengers number 32. I'm starting to kind of fall out of this book a little bit. Like, a lot more than I thought I would with it being a Jason Aaron book. It's not a terrible book by any stretch of the imagination. I'm just not getting into it quite as much as I was, with the Ghost Rider story arc and what have you. Nevertheless, it's still pretty safe from being cut, but it's just going to have to really pick it back up. Avengers, number 32. From there we have Cable, number 1. I am a big fan of Cable. I like Jerry Dugan, even though he doesn't always... I'm not really liking everything that he's ever done, but I've loved his run on Deadpool. And him doing Cable is just kind of the next logical step. I'm excited to read this book. Excited that Cable has his own series. And, and I really like the cover. It says, "Speak softly, carry a big-ass gun with the little, or big fucking gun." I don't know what the, has all the symbols implying swears, and that's all I know. But, yeah. I like Cable, and I like Jerry Dugan. So, match made in heaven. Cable, number 1. From there we go to Hawkeye Freefall number 4. It says Daredevil strikes, and at the end of the previous issue of Hawkeye, Daredevil confronted Clint. It's been a great series so far, but I'm not sure. It's been a good series, but this might do something that in the long term I don't like what they're going to do with Hawkeye, just as a Hawkeye fan. But, still a good series. Still really enjoyed it so far, and it's 2 of my favorite Marvel characters, Hawkeye and Daredevil, in one book this month. So what more can you ask for? Hawkeye, Freefall, number 4. From there we go to XMen, number 8. This decent little story arc so far, and they kind of look like they're kind of back in the version of the Savage Land. It almost seems like. So, yeah, not a bad book. It's probably my number 2 favorite of all the different mutant books that I read, and really digging it. It's not quite on Excalibur's level, but it's still pretty damn good, and hopefully the momentum continues. X-Men, number 8. From there we go to The Flash, number 751. And I did not know this book was coming out as early as it was. They had multiple stories in the Flash 750 book. It wasn't all one thick conclusion, which that part, you know, even though I did kind of picked it earlier, it did kind of irk me. I kind of figured they'd want to end it with, you know, with issue 750, but, you know, instead it was a love letter. It was fun, but the main story is still being continued, and lo and behold, I don't have to wait long to see the drag race of death with Barry and Godspeed. So, yeah. Been a good story arc. You know, Williamson's kicking some major ass at this book, as he is Batman and Superman, but right now we're talking Flash, and yeah, hopefully it ends well, if this even is the end of this story arc. Flash 751. From there we go to Green Lantern Season 2, Part 2, or Number 2, I'm sorry, it's confusing, there's a lot of twos. I like the first issue of Season 2. I don't like how they're doing that, but I like the first issue and kind of what they're doing. It made it kind of really feel more like they're really going in the police direction, you know, because they are, you know, intergalactic space cops, and he's kind of really, at least in issue 1, was going more in that, you know, space cop direction with, you know, a lot of, you know, different military and law enforcement terms being used. And I appreciate that because, I mean, they are supposed to be space cops. But we'll see if this, we'll see if that continues. And, you know, as I've said in the past adventures, you know, Morrison on the Green Lantern should be the greatest thing ever to me. But it hasn't been. And that bothers me, but nonetheless, it's not terrible. They've got me hooked. They've got me hooked enough to keep buying the book, and I guess that's all that matters at the end. Green Lantern Season 2, Issue 2. Got it right that time. From here we go to Hawkman number 22, and it is titled The Infection Breaks, and oops! Or maybe intentional, I don't know, but kind of timely with everything that's going on in the world right now, hereby dating this particular adventure. This book's picked back up. Like, every time I think, oh, I'm done with this, it boop, pops right back up to where I want to keep reading it. It's good stuff from Vendetti, and hopefully, you know, I like it. It staved off elimination, and let's see if it continues to stave it off. Hawkman number 22. From there we go to Superman number 21, and the Mongol story arc continues, and I'm not really a huge Mongol fan. I'm actually preferring, you know, how Clark is adjusting to life now that he's revealed himself to the world. That's kind of more so going on in action right now. But yeah, I mean, you've already heard my opinion in past adventures about, I feel, you know, about the one or the other for Bendis on the Superman books, but he's got a vision. He's got two different visions, and they're letting him carry it out, and I don't hate it enough to stop reading it. So, it is what it is. Superman, number 21. And the final book of the pull list portion of this week's bounty is Terrifics number 26. Last Terrifics book was the Choose Your Own Adventure, which was really fun and awesome, and I loved it. Not really going to, I doubt this is another Choose Your Own Adventure book, but I think kind of ironically, you know, they're drilling underground, and I'm currently on the Anime Monday watching episodes of Gurren Lagann, which has to do with underground drills, and it's a very, very serious but goofy kind of series such as Terrific. So maybe I'll read this like I'm watching Gurren Lagann, so who knows. It's been a fun book. I like this book, and yeah. Once again, just excited. Terrifics number 26. And the final portion of this week's bounty is an old school, but still kind of cool, trade paperback of Marvel's Secret Wars. With the exception of a few digital portions of it, I have actually never read this whole story. I have the whole series single issues. I bought it at the very first comic book convention I ever went to. And after I bought all of them single issues, I thought, I met Stan Lee the next day, and I thought this would probably be the book to have him sign. And since then, I have met the other writers and artists and had them sign everything. I don't really want to touch it anymore, but I probably should have read them all first, but then I screwed myself by not reading it all before Stan could sign it. So now I guess I can finally, in its entirety, read this series and appreciate it. So, you know, it was a marketing series that a lot of people say, but, you know, sometimes comics just need to be fun, and yeah. It's a must-have for anybody's comic collection, and I get a classic. I have the classic issues, and I have the classic trade paperback now, so everything's a-okay. Secret Wars trade paperback. Let's see when. Look on here and see if I can see when this was printed. It's a real boring part of it. I'm just going to see if there's a copyright date in here. 99. So not the first one, but still 1999. That's it's over 20 years old, so pretty cool. And that is it for me this week. Let me know what you picked up at your local comic shop in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, share, subscribe for more content, not just from the world of comic books, from the world of anime, gaming, pro wrestling, and all things geek culture. Go like my Facebook page at facebook.com/athleticgeek89. There you will find every Thursday my collection comic of the week blog. But on that, I'm out. Y'all be cool. Later.